Cool, cool,
I mean,
cool. Well, I guess that for the people that are here, nice, nice, nice. I'm super stoked to see all of you guys here. Um, and Benjamin is here, of course, of course. I guess the show up rate, especially at the beginning, is not going to be super. Oops, it's not going to be super super big. Just because yeah, obviously people need to kind of get adjusted to the whole system. But besides that, super fucking stoked to have you here. The recording, what will happen with it is at the end of the whole call, we will be uploading it onto the program back again as well. We obviously have a pretty big Discord community with around 2K members, so all those people kind of need to get adjusted to that we're doing it all on here. So again, stoked to have all of you guys. I will also be introducing my partners shortly, which are Ollie and Akil. And then what we will do is we will just get into some particular questions that any of you have, stuff that you guys want to go over, maybe page analysis, just some in general, in-depth analysis. Maybe you want to talk about personal brand strategy, literally anything. This call um we don't really have like one particular topic for this whole free call. It's kind of like getting used to everything again because the last calls that we did do, we had a pretty good show, right? But basically invite anyone you know, also people listening to this on YouTube too, like invite anyone you know, just because we're doing these for free and the results we've been able to get for other people for free before was insane. So we have obviously a very big vision to change the education system, right? And how the fuck do we do that? We do that through coaching people like you, right? And helping people like you. We have a shit ton of energy. We have a shit ton of resources, knowledge that we can blow into the whole world that will change it for the better. So super stoked to see all of you guys here. So let's start out with maybe a couple of questions, maybe a few topics for in the future or right now that you guys want to discuss. Because as I said, we have a shit ton of resources. And when I say shit ton, like it's not shit ton, it's shit ton in capitals. So please drop any questions, any, particular topics that you guys want to go over in these types of calls, and we will prepare the shit out of it. Like we will prepare the shit out of it that you know that you're getting more value out of this community for free than any other paid coaching that you may have joined in the past. Obviously, we do paid coaching too, right? We have one-on-ones, we have things that we do for you, but our coaching is very much more structured in a way where we do stuff for you. We have templates for you. We built your page for you. We built your CRM for you, right? So basically what you're buying is your time and obviously more support, but that just allows you to go faster, really. But that's the whole point of this community. It allows you to start, and we may be even introducing more weekly calls in the future, completely for 0 cents. The only thing that you're spending is your time. So again, really appreciate for everyone showing up. Let's start off with maybe a little bit of introduction and also a little bit of questions and topics that you guys want to see more in the future. So Benjamin, if you want to kick it off, man, shoot.
yeah, I just want to say, I told you I was serious, and as you can see me here, although I don't have much time, I have only 25, 30 minutes for before I have to go. But I'm from Slovakia, and I had a call with Alex yesterday, and even though I cannot financially join the program that I would love to, but at least I'm here this way for now until I figure it out.
Cool. So are there particular topics or things that you want to see in the future that we can go over for you?
For me,
Yeah, like any particular topics, it could be related to personal brands, to also closing, sales, lead funnels, like literally anything, man. Just throw anything out there. Don't think in limits. Just, anything that you feel like you really, really think could be very valuable to you.
um, personal brands, for me mainly how to build one, how to keep one, and how to how to stay on the market with the personal brand. Because as I know, 90% of people in online, offline world, they fail.
Mm,
So that's what's interesting for me, like how to stay on the market even with this for a long time.
yeah. What you're basically saying is like with the personal brand, specifically designing it in a way where Where to achieve what? What's the goal with your personal brand?
What I meant, like, how to stay on the market. I don't have like a personal brand that I would like uh, have an idea in mind, like what to exactly sell or do.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, so far is interesting, like how to stay on the market when I figure this out.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So you're basically like what you're trying to do in the future is you want to build a personal brand that still allows you to leverage yourself for any other opportunities, basically.
Yeah, we could say that.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, maybe we can dive into that a little bit more in today's call. Sylvester or Michael, Jenny, Armin, if you want to share anything in particular, maybe a bit about yourself or things you would rather want to learn in calls like these in the community and anything, just drop anything here because we're going to be creating it. Would love to hear it. Ah, look at that, man. Sylvester, my man.
So can I start or
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, man.
yeah. So right now I've just started my personal brand just a few days ago. I've been working on it for about a month. And so right now I don't have any particular questions, but right now it's all about growth, and if just yeah, just basically the growth. I'm kind of starting out. So yeah, the
Cool, man.
first boost.
Cool. And what would you love to see in the future in calls like these in the community and maybe course modules?
That's quite the thing is this is my first call. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. So I'm just gonna go with the flow and if I'll have any questions, I'll just let you know, yeah.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Sounds good.
Well, it's really good for you as well to kind of identify your goals, like where you
Yeah.
eventually want to go. Think really, really big. Um, and choose a certain vehicle that will allow you to get to that really, really big goal, right? So let's say you have a goal like me to change the education system. Really think, is this particular venture going to let me achieve that big goal? Because if the answer is no, you're never going to be as motivated as you were if you choose the right vehicle, right? It's one of the most common mistakes people make. Something I learned really recently too. Is that let's say I will have like this big thing that I'm get so fucking excited by, even if it's starting a Lamborghini 2.0 business, right? If I then start fucking theme pages, it doesn't align with where I eventually want to go.
Makes
And the
sense.
vehicle isn't correct, which then also translates to my motivation being decreased at times as well,
Yeah.
right? So we'll go super in depth also in the future in terms of internal, external motivation and a lot of other things. But it's super stoked to have you here, man. And yeah,
Thank you.
just in the community, I saw your message too. Really appreciate that. If you have any people that you know that could benefit from this too, shoot them over. We're actually going to
Sure.
be giving away a theme page too,
Oh,
of
wow.
50K followers completely for free to someone in the community who's the most active. I'm not going to disclose yet when because the community's just started.
All right,
Uh,
all right.
although we are growing a decent amount of members every day. So yeah, the goal is to have this call like fucking break, like my network just saying, Alex, there's too many people here. That's my goal. Or where we have to structure the call in like 5 minutes increments of like feedback, like a list of 50 questions. That's how all the big dogs are doing it. So yeah, again, super stoked to have you.
Thank you.
We're planning to also make a shit ton more courses. So this means around one particular topic. This can relate to sales, personal brand, theme page, marketing, appointment setting, even closing. Like it really depends what you want to learn. But I'm planning to give away a lot for free. So kind of like the Alex Emoji 2.0.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to say I'm from Slovakia too, and I'm 15, so just so you know.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Well, Benjamin here is a closer, man. Maybe you can connect sometime too and learn from each other.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. And again, like if you have any particular topics you want to drop them in the school community, drop them in the chat, drop them during the calls, like this call is more to get people kind of into it again. Because on the YouTube, what I did before is I had this call every single week for like 12 weeks long. And I'm planning to do the same, but not for a particular time, just unlimited time. We'll see how it grows. And what people show up, like me, Akil, as you can see, and Ollie are basically the people who are going to be leading all these calls. And yeah, it really depends on what you want to see. Like Akil is super good in copywriting. Ollie has grown his own theme page fairly quickly to 30K followers and has a lot of knowledge about research, content, theme pages, ads, right, and a lot of other things. So yeah, we're here to provide value, so just use us. I can definitely guarantee you that the value you would potentially be able to get from us is going to be a ton more than a lot of other gurus that you're going to pay thousands to. Also because we've invested around 55K in total in our own education and continue to do so. And obviously I'm talking about legit paid education, right? We also have like different ways of educating ourselves through network, or, there's always resources flying around on the internet. Not saying that we have them, but, there's a lot there. So, yeah, guys, I'm super stoked to have you. Let's get straight into it. So, Sylvester, if you want to drop your personal brand, we could just start with a little page analysis for that. And Armin, same thing for you, man. If you want to introduce yourself to everyone as well. Armin is one of our clients. We're also partnering up with him pretty quickly. So, yeah, if you want to go ahead, Armin.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Armin. I'm from Germany. Sylvester's actually my friend, so I like referred him into this group because I thought he would benefit a lot from this and from your coaching and help. So yeah, I'm 16. I started exactly 1 year ago with theme pages. I
No,
started
celebration
exactly
time.
1 year ago. Yeah, it's pretty
That's
sick.
good.
I started today, like 1 year ago, one theme page in like the travel niche, but I deleted it like 1 week after because I started my first theme page, second one that I have to this day. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of that because like it's something I built over time, and yeah, it's really means like a lot to me because I put a lot of work in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, what I'm looking for in this community or group is like to connect with other people. Yeah, and yeah, get like the knowledge from like bigger people like you, and yeah.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Well, in the future, we'll definitely have you to kind of break down, your whole personal brand story and journey as well. Like, it's super inspiring. For the people that don't know you, what particular results were you able to get in what time frame?
So I got like one page from mine. It was my personal brand, the old one, which I was able to grow into almost 90K in like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. Also, I let me think. Yeah. After like having calls with you, I was able to have like a lot of views on one of my smaller theme pages. So I got like multiple 100,000 views on that. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
Love that, man. Love that. Cool. Well, let's get straight into the page analysis. I'll quickly look at yours here, Sylvester. So first things first is what the first goal is obviously what do you want to accomplish with this page, right? That's like one very, very big key thing. Let me just double check if we're recording this. Stop recording. No, okay, cool. So yeah, basically the first question that you really want to be asking yourself is what do you want to achieve with your page and who do you want to reach, right? Those are two big questions. Because if you want to reach like 16-year-olds and people who are looking to get rich quick and that sort of stuff, like matrix type of content, then yeah, continue with what you're doing. But what I would always like really look into with your personal brand is what content inspires you? What content really inspires you specifically when you look at it? Not content that you look at and be like, oh, I'm gonna mimic that to go viral. Like that's not gonna work. No. So the first thing is identify through research by looking at other pages and looking at content you consumed in the past. Then what you want to try to do is mimic that, but also combine that with yourself, right? So who are you? What's your story? How do you, for example, how are you so different? Why would I follow you instead of another guy, right? Because if I just look at your profile, very honest feedback, your profile picture is shit, like you standing there like that, no, it's not quality, lighting is shit. Have like a good profile picture of yourself. Even if I take a screenshot of you during the call right now, that's a better profile picture than this. So choose that, have it more clear, because it it makes it come over more professionally, right? So aesthetics is obviously a big thing, but I would definitely change it around your content. I would really look into yourself as well, because this matrix type of, for example, this is great, right? But if you, for example, transition like party life and then this, there's you're trying to come over as like a controversial guy, which I understand for virality, but I don't understand for brand equity in the future, right? So people want to really follow you because of you. We've literally had clients that scaled up really, really quickly just with posting videos of them sitting in a chair and talking about a subject that they really knew a lot about. Simple as that, right? But they knew that that was where their value lies. So why is Alex Hormozy the Alex Hormozy of today's age? Well, it's because he knew exactly who he was and he knew exactly what strategy he would go for his content that relates to, guess what? Him, right? If Alex Hormozy didn't know who he was in terms of what works for him and the best way for him to make content, then he wouldn't be the best as he is right now because Alex Hormozy is Alex Hormozy. There's no one like him, right? People can mimic him exactly the way he is, but Russell Brunson is Russell Brunson, Gary Vee is Gary Vee, Iman Gadzhi is Iman Gadzhi, right? There's all different strategies, but how did they choose which one suits them best? By looking internally, by looking at themselves. Who do they eventually want to become? Really good thing to also kind of consider is what Netflix series and movies do you really like? What are your top 5 or top 3 favorite movies? And what are your favorite characters? And why do you like them? For example, for me, it's Whiplash, right? Where, for example, the guy who's drumming, he's completely obsessed with drumming, right? He's completely obsessed by it. And I love that. When I look at him, I want to be like that person, right? And I work a shit ton per day as well, right? Akil does too. Ollie does too. Armin, I'm 100% sure you do too. And Benjamin too. Everyone works a shit ton. But what I'm trying to get at is identify who you are, do inner work, look at who are you, and then combine that with the content you already consumed in the past, right? So look at like the saved videos that you had from months ago before you even started all of this shit. So this way, it will allow you to come across as more genuine and people feel and know it. Because this content is not going to work. That's just my point already. It's not genuine. I wouldn't want to follow you. Not because your content is not good, but just because I don't feel a click. I feel like it's too created. It's screaming at me, Alex, I want to go viral. Instead of Alex, I want to provide value through the way I am, right? So when you let yourself become more you through the content, you'll see more followers come in. And then the only thing you have to figure out after you do that is what style and approach are you going to take to it, right? Obviously, you do want to think about like the type of videos you do and the style you use and what type of videos you post because you do want to go viral, right? Like it doesn't make sense to go completely the way you want to do, etc. You do want to consider, hey, I want to go viral. But then you combine those two things together. For example, combining this with, I used to think getting A's was a flex. Let me quickly think. I grew up. Yeah, like no one wants to consume that. Like you're never going to be attracting a 40, 30-year-old mom, right? Like you want to inspire the majority group of people. You want to kind of think, okay, who is on Instagram, right? Because if you're going to be posting stuff like this, you're only going to get people that are similar to you. And if that's your goal, 100%, right? But I believe there's a Sylvester in there that is way more unique than this shit. A story, a thought, a thinking process, right? Maybe you don't even like the content you're doing right now. Maybe that's a truth. Maybe the reason why you do it is just to go viral. And maybe people that you saw, like Etel or other people that are doing this stuff, you looked at and you were like, holy shit, yeah, I really love what they're doing and it works. And yeah, well, let's try it too. But the reason why Etel and all these people blew up because they were who they were. Point. They tried a style, it fitted them, and they continued to double down on it. It doesn't have to be created. It doesn't have to be super weird or, different. Uh, Let me see, Benjamin. Oh, cool. Benjamin, you also asked to review your page. Yeah, let's do it, man. So that's the number one. Kind of the summary is change your profile picture, it's shit. Username is good. Content is shit. Do inner work and look at past content you consumed and movies you really like of characters you would rather want to become in the future. Like, who's the future Sylvester? What does he do on a day-to-day basis? What is he known for, right? Create, create, create. The more you think about that, the more you can bring it back to now and your strategy for your content. Because you have the potential to blow up because you're young, you're speedy, you understand social media, you're going to replace your time that you scroll on social media by doing and making content. The content you're making currently yourself probably is pretty quality. The quality of it is good, but the actual content itself, not at all. because it doesn't add value. It's not relatable to me, you know, and those are key things that you want to consider in your content. Is it likable, relatable, shareable, controversial, maybe, right? These are all things that you want to keep in mind. And this is stuff we'll go super deep into in the future, but for now, I think that's plenty of work that you can do. Besides that, your bio is shit. So your you can choose two things for your name, right? So you can choose the way you did it, where you have like SEO optimized name. So what I mean is motivation, discipline, self-improvement, right? Where people know, okay, cool, that's what Sylvester posts around. But you can also just have your full name there, Sylvester last name, for example, and then the topic, like motivation or whatever. Or you can just have your name. So there's like three variants that you can choose between. Then your bio is shit because the first line of the bio kind of needs to share what you do or help people with or what you post. Second line needs to be credibility slash what you accomplish yourself or other people or views you have in total or a goal you have, right? 112 out of 10,000 followers yet or whatever. And then a strong CTA at the end with follow me for X, Y, and Z. Follow for more, follow to improve your journey, follow to join the Sylvester community, right? You can do this based on the research you did of people you would want to become like, right? Look at the people, think big as well, think smaller, think middle, think in all kinds of ways. Look at the Gary V's, look at the smaller guys. And yeah, that's what I would do. Then also for every single word, the first letter of the word needs to be a capital. So this bio looks just, like my dog pooped on it. So you would rather want to have like a capital. So yeah, man, that's my feedback for now. I'll come back to your page in just a sec. But
Alex, I would also like to give a little bit of feedback if I
yeah,
may.
1 sec, because Benjamin needs to go in 7 minutes. So
Oh, okay, cool. Makes sense.
So, yeah, basically your page looks very clean. You want to come off as professional, that's great. Only thing that I see right up is that you posted a picture where you look in kind of a similar direction twice. You want to kind of change it up when you post content about yourself. Besides that, really understand like who you are as well, right? I do understand you want to come across like this, but really understand like who are you and what value could you add to other people by being you? Very big question, right? So for example, you could do, let's just go to this guy, or let's see another guy maybe. What other guy? Akil, could you name someone who does carousel posts?
Carousel posts,
Yeah,
like
just
Derek and Dakota.
Okay, Derek and Dakota.
That's so.
Oh, Derek. Yeah, these guys. So these types of posts, let me just give you 1 second. These types of posts, right? So you have like a carousel, you have a picture of yourself, and you kind of give a lesson, right? Something that you've learned, for example. It's a really good way to express very valuable information in a short amount of time to other people about yourself. Something you can test. But what I would really recommend you do, Benjamin, is look at like who are the top dogs and what type of pages do they have and what do you want to become like too, right? Like do a lot of research for it, list out like 10 pages and list out a reason why you want to become like that person. So that's a very good way to also identify your content strategy because you can make a personal brand in two ways. You can make it one where it's optimized, sorry, three ways. One where it's optimized for conversions in sales, one where it's optimized for organic growth, right? So you grow your page, you reach more people, you post content, etc. Or another, which is more like a landing page slash visiting card. And that's kind of like yours, right? It's kind of like where business owners come to and they're like, oh, cool, that's Benjamin, right? So if you want to do something like that, you could also just buy a page of a dead page for like 50K followers that's completely dead for like $100. And what you can do is just archive all the posts, post these pictures, and just hide the likes. Very easy way to do it. If you want to just come across like a business card type of page, you do want to have a decent amount of followers, like 116 looks very poor to me. Or you can consider growing it organically, but then you'd have to post a little bit more content. But yeah, I would say my advice would be incorporate a little bit more content styles and then share more about you. Why are you a good sales closer? Because I, for example, hire sales closers based on their personality and who they are. If you, for example, have a couple of highlights here where you're dancing in the kitchen while making food, I would love you, man. I would be like, yeah, that's my closer. Let's go. Because closers for me are people who have insane confidence, who can sell anyone, who are very good in communication too, right? So this is what you want to kind of think like, who do you want to become? Then bring it back to what does that person do, and then express that through your content. Because people don't know, right? If they, for example, land on your page, that's all the information they're given about you. That's it, right? Nothing else,
Yeah,
unless they talk to
yes,
you.
Alex, I can send you maybe in a chat one of the guys that I know, his Instagram. Let me just double check
Yeah, totally.
what's his name exactly. Yeah, he's like one of the best sales closers I know, and his page looks like this. Like I just click this, you know.
So you want to become like him.
Like he's guy I know. He's from UK, but living in Czech Republic in Prague. But I
Mhm.
know him like through community, you know. I have
Okay.
his number and stuff,
So you
and
basically become more like him.
like these kind of pictures, you know. Like, what do you
Mhm.
think? Like, because even though he is just 218, he has like business owners reach out to him to be their closer, you know.
Yeah, sure. Sure, right? But then, for example, the question I would have straight up is 1 million USD close. Like, what do
Yes.
you mean 1 million USD close? I don't have any proof anywhere. Plus, his bio, for example, like having a capital letter for each word just makes it look more aesthetic, regardless of whatever page you have. Plus, this is a thing which you have to consider for yourself. Are you
Mhm.
going to be a closer for the next 20 years, or 40, or 50, or 60? You want to be really zooming out, right? That's what I also told Sylvester, like really zoom out, think, who do I want to become? And what's my big ass fucking goal that I want to accomplish in my life? For me, change the education system. So then if I bring that back, I have to choose the vehicle, for example, Instagram theme pages, right? To be able to get to that point. So for us, we experiment with the type of education we do for each of our clients with personality tests and everything like that, having a separate approach for each and every client. That's what we start testing. So then that way, that could be a concept to then bring into new education, partner up with companies. I don't know, right? I don't know exactly how I'm going to be doing it, but I know that through my route, by doing the coaching, I could eventually achieve that. So let's say you eventually want to stay a closer, or you want to become the best closer, right? That's your vision. Then yeah, you will have to optimize your page in the way that it comes across like you are the best closer, right? Maybe a
Yes,
few
that's
videos of
why I was
yourself.
curious. Like, what would you say? Like,
Yeah.
this is a page of a best one, or
Yeah, so what I was getting at is that, like, let's say you want to become the best closer. Do you want to seriously become that for the next 30, 40, 50 years, right? Because if you don't,
I
then maybe
enjoy it.
structure your personal brand in a way where it just shows a lot about you. Because if you structure your personal brand in a closer way and then suddenly shift from being a fucking closer to being a health addict, people are going to unfollow you. People don't want to see you anymore, etc. But if people follow you because of you, and currently your position is a sales closer, then yeah, that's cool. But as a closer, you don't have to wear all this nice fancy shit. I know closers that are doing millions that just wear sweaters like me, you know? So the whole point is, who do you want to become? And dive super deep into that. And what do you want to accomplish? Two very big questions. Go into nature, think about it. But then that's the way you want to position your personal brand too.
Got you.
And that's something
The
really.
fancy stuff that I wear is because I like it. I always enjoyed wearing a suit,
Yeah.
so enjoyed while I can, because when I was a chef, I was never able to wear a suit, you know. So
Yeah,
now
but
I'm
like,
happy, you know. I'm sitting in a suit,
yeah,
so happy, you know. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of
exactly,
what
right?
I always liked. So it's not like it's expressing myself in a real life, like I am, not
Yeah,
just the fancy stuff because I'm
yeah.
closer.
I'll
So
quickly show something very cool to you here. 1 second.
that would be awesome.
So this is a Miro board that we're also currently creating for all of our clients. And it's kind of like something that I've been struggling with for a decent amount of time is having an overview, right? Like having an overview of my whole business, knowing exactly what where happens, and everything, my planning, my schedule, everything. So if you, for example, take a look at this board that I made, on the right, you have something called Momentum Mori, right? I'm not sure if you guys know it, but like each and every one of these little squares stands and relates to 1 week of your life. So it's super cool. You can just click on the square and you can like fill it in. And then that relates to 1 week that has passed, right? It's super cool, but it's something I added. Then here, identity of Alex, right? I just have it all mapped out. I have all the specific reflective questions that I can ask myself, certain affirmations I can do. And this is all based on my personality test. Then, for example, here, goals, I still have to fill in a couple of things, goals and objectives with each and every aspect of my life, but then also a new and old self, right? So if we, for example, take a look at like my new self, this is who I want to become, right? I want to build schools in Africa. I want to be like Harvey Specter, right? Like those people I aspire. I think, cool, I want to drive a big ass fucking Mustang. This is all shit that is super, super cool to map out and to look at when you can't understand or don't know, cool, this is who I want to become. And when you just have this super, super clear and like an overview for yourself, like on a board like this, it becomes a lot more easier. Same thing with routines, right? I have certain work modes and routines that I follow. For example, this is a specific routine I'm following right now to optimize for work. So for output and everything like that. And Sylvester, I am sharing a lot of value, so I would pay attention. Same thing with this, right? With certain routines I follow, certain things I do, don't do, etc. And I know because I tested this. But having a board like this, just as kind of like an overview with your story, mission, vision, where you want to go, who you are, etc., it just paints so much clarity. Same thing for your personal brand, who you want to become, the way you structure your page, functions, whatever, man. Like the list goes on and on and on and on. But I would recommend always for a personal brand to see how you can express yourself the best way possible. Because if you're going to be scared about that, it's not a personal brand. It's just a thing that looks like you, but isn't you. So if you look at, I'm thinking if I posted it on my story, I think I didn't, but it's kind of me dancing in the kitchen, right? While making food, because that's who I am. Like I have a fucking ton of energy, man. I dance, I scream, I shout, I shit, I don't care. I just don't care. That's who I am. And I inspire people like that. And then people join the coaching because of me, right? Because it seems like I'm honest, trustworthy, direct, etc. And that's who I am. And it kind of reinforces it through the content. Like when I hear that on calls, I'm always like, cool, yeah, let's go, right? Because people go through the content that you post, either on your highlights, either on your feed. For example, what you can do, Benjamin, if you want to, you can just make your feed like this, right? Like professional pictures. But you can fill up highlights with results. You can fill up highlights with videos about yourself. You can fill a highlight explaining your story, right? That I can go through that as a business owner and I then can see, cool, this is Benjamin. This
Like a selfie video or something, right?
selfie video. It can actually be like you grab your phone, you put it, in one part of the kitchen and you just start dancing. Like it can be
I
anything.
did not dance, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I
but like
never
really
danced.
understand who are you, right? What makes Benjamin Benjamin? If you were to ask like 5 people directly around you that know you the best, who is he? But also, who does he want to become? And those are powerful things because that's what I look when I hire people. I look at things that make them them, right? I want to have a person that knows who they are and is unique in their way. And this is you, right? At least this is who you want to become. So yeah, I do love the content, but I would consider looking at how can you show more of you, right? Because I kind of would find this a little bit corny, just because anyone could make a couple of really nice pictures, and post it like this. And this to me looks like you're sitting in your own living room, getting your
No, it was in a cafe.
yeah, right. But then like
Yes.
show a video in your highlights of behind the scenes of a photo. Could be an idea, right?
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I think anything, even if you were to give insight to business owners, if a business owner were to click on your profile and you're talking as an authority on closing and actually giving advice to them, maybe in your highlights or in your story, if that really resonates with the business owner and they're like, wow, this guy really helped me, might want to give value back because you're giving value to them. They're going to want to hire you because they're like, whoa, this person is an authority. He doesn't just post fancy photos. This person is actually giving out value that I can use. Maybe they might even follow your account for tips,
Yeah.
or tricks on closing or hiring closing or anything regarding their business.
Yeah.
that makes your profile not just pictures, but a valuable resource for business owners.
And
That's when
as
you're
of
going to see a switch.
And as of my experience, other business owners hire closers, appointment setters, etc., based on who they are, right? As a person, who is Benjamin? That's the big question then for me. Your results, and then your, appearance, right? So the type of pose you have could be a little bit of, tips, for example. Could even be a video of your best close, right? I want to see you in action. I want to be like, holy shit, he closed that motherfucker by like smack, close, boom. Like
Just
that's
a
what I
question
want to
about
see.
that, like since the recordings are like 1 hour, like how the sales calls are, Alex.
Edit them.
So like to cut it in some parts, or like just the objection handling, you would say.
Edit parts where you think they're the best highlights, right? Maybe you handled
Okay.
the objection super well. For example, you edit the part where they said, I don't have time, I need to think about it, I need to speak with my wife, I need, all the bullshit
Yeah,
objections,
all the
right?
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, just when they say that, then cut to the part where you handle it, and then cut to the end part where they say, cool, let's do it, right? So you have like a 3-step video: problem, solution, end.
If you want to look for any sort of reference, there's a ton of videos on YouTube that have got like hundreds of thousands of views that use that same technique of editing and objection handling, and it attracts a lot of attention. So if you just refer to some of those videos and edit in those same styles, it'll make you look like a badass to any sort of people that might want to hire you.
Yeah, and put time into it, right? Like really like look at all the calls you've done and then pick out the best one in terms of your feeling, right? I don't care if it's someone saying that's the best one, your feeling, because it's your brand and that's who you are, right? And then when you choose that best one, that's when you can spend weeks, even months, making a shit ton of edits. Drop them inside of the school community. We will say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then you start posting them. Hey, maybe we can talk about it in this and this way. Hey, maybe we can edit this one in this and this way. Hey, have you tried this and this way of editing it in the past with this tool? No, yes, no, yes, cool.
Yes. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. I will definitely try to do that as well. And I have to go.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you, Alex, for giving me a feedback about it. I appreciate it a lot. Thank to Aquil. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name.
Yeah, it's
as
Akio.
well.
No problem.
Without the
Okay.
W, just
Yeah. Akio, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So thank you guys, and ciao.
Have a good one, man. Bye.
Cheers.
So we're left with the one and only Sylvester Legend. Let's go into your page, and Akil want to provide some feedback to you too. So buckle up.
Yeah, let's see. So on your profile, you're talking about getting A's, right? So you're making content similar to, you're going to attract a lot of younger audience, right? And younger audiences aren't really going to buy any sort of offer or package or anything like that. There's not a lot of 15-year-old entrepreneurs really killing it out there, right? So I would say definitely switch out your content strategy. Right now, what you're trying to do is edit in a style that shows off really fancy sort of visuals. You're going to be competing with people that are, taking videos of their Lamborghini and, in Dubai. So you're competing with them. It's a really hard market to go for. I would say just do some market research and actually want to like add value. I've seen, like, I think there was this 13-year-old that made a video of, hey, this is my first day starting a business and I'm going to take you on that journey. And he got like 300,000 views on that, right? So you're in a place where you need to share your insight. You need to prove your authority as someone who's young and is killing it in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Rather than, hey, let me try to be as flashy. Meanwhile, you're not going to win against the people in Dubai with the Lamborghinis and Ferraris.
Exactly,
right?
but as Akil said, sorry to interrupt you, but be honest, right? That's what I was also referring to, like, as who is Sylvester? Like, be honest, you're young, you don't have a successful business yet. Like, my business isn't even successful. Like, you have to understand that concept. A business is something that is millions, right? It's like that's a business. What we're doing is little mini projects that are making us a few thousand a month. Like, that's how you kind of look at it. Even someone who's making 100K a month, yeah, they have a decent business, but you know, it's not a business business. So there's always levels to levels. And be honest, you know, people will love you, people will follow you, people will become your fans. And when they become your fans, like for example in KSI or Logan Paul, that's when you can do anything with them. You can send them to a community, you can start a YouTube channel, you can do whatever you want to, but just bring them on your journey and then document your journey through your personal brand, right? Don't try to use your personal brand as like a tool to make money just yet, because you don't have one that's built up yet, right? The making money is something that will come later. Yeah, if you want to make money, you know, through a theme page or whatever, try to do that, but then focus your personal brand on documenting your journey.
Yeah, definitely just take a look around, right? There's tons of people who haven't had any results yet, but are still getting a ton of views on their profile, right? People who want to follow their journey, right? So I would say don't just freehand it. Take a look, do some competitor research, find people who are young, who are getting in those views, that are taking people through their journeys, and see how you can integrate that with your personality, and your views will pick up.
Yeah. Yeah, because even this, right? Like just this video, it inspires the fuck out of me. Just having this frame, right? Not looking at all the text and the motivational thing over it, just looking at this frame, because it reminds me of how I started myself as well. You know, I started on like maybe even a smaller desk than this, and it was like a fucking mini 1x1 laptop, right? It was not, I think you have a MacBook or something, but it wasn't like a fancy laptop. It was super, super small, etc. But it reminds me of like, cool, that's how I started. And that's how you attract entrepreneurs. They look at your journey, they're like, holy shit, this is such a cool young guy. You know, he's killing it already. He's doing this, doing that, you know, and share a lot of your insights too. I would recommend you to do two things. Do everything that we told you about, everything on the call today about your personal brand. Second thing, start a YouTube channel. Just make 5 to 4 minute videos about one particular topic. Keep it simple, keep it short, and really see it as a performance. Like, for example, these calls, right? I have to be energetic. I can't be sitting back in my chair like, so Sylvester, what do you want to talk about today? That doesn't work. Like, you have to be, you know, same thing with YouTube. You know, that's what you need to do for 4 or 5 minutes. Test it out and share your insights, share your story, share like who you are, what you're going through, right? And then the behind the scenes, maybe a vlog like what Armin did. But if you make it too fake, people will feel it. Be 100% brutally honest, and that's when you will get a shit ton of views and a shit ton of people, because they will relate. The people that are older see where you're starting right now, and if you're honest with it, they will see as well. If people like a really big entrepreneur like Alex Hormozi goes to your page right now, do you think he would say, "Oh, that guy is so cool, you know, Sylvester, what he's doing, etc." I don't think so. He will if you post content like this. He will if you really express who you are. And it's scary, you know. That's why a lot of people don't start a personal brand. They don't start because it's them. You have to like show your insides to everyone, right? You have to kind of like, you can kind of see it like this. You have two big claws and you're kind of like clawing yourself inside, and then you're throwing it out like this, right? To everyone and anyone. And you're like, this is me. You know, even standing like this in front of people or in a crowd. I'm not sure if you guys know the lesson from Tony Robbins. In psychology, you're I think it's like your something, a thing in your brain, happiness chemical gets boosted by X, Y, and Z%, like a big percentage, if you just do this for like 5 minutes. And try this in public, right? Just stand like this. It's super scary because your torso is the one thing that people and humans protect. It's the most vulnerable part of the whole body, right? So do this in public. It will feel really uncomfortable. Do it for 5 minutes, just stand there. Very busy place. So what I'm trying to get at is just be real, as Akil said as well. Look at other people, look at your industry. Yeah. Ollie, maybe you want to shed your light on it?
Yeah, man. I mean, like Akil said before, we've seen there is a lot of people out there doing this. There are a few people in around your similar age doing this sort of thing as well, and they're absolutely killing it in the game. Very early, still experimenting, but there's so much inspiration you can take out there, especially from this niche, and a direction you want to take. I mean, we could give you loads of examples. There's tons of to take from out there as well. But what you can also do is look at stuff that's working really well for them and kind of integrate that into your own page as well. Then you can take the similar sort of aspect of what you're doing now, but just basically just improve, just make everything quality, concept, idea, everything, just make it better. There's so much you can do.
Like, I mean, you don't have the most like fanciest editing or the best clips that you can use, but what you do have is yourself and your personality and the lessons that you've learned. So switch from trying to show like flashy
Yeah.
and switch to educating and trying to help people. That
Yeah.
would be that'd be the main takeaway.
Yeah,
Did,
and what all
did
these
I miss
do as well, and like looking at like the most viral stuff from other people, but I would try to like not look at other people for like weeks. Just look at you. You know, what content can you make yourself? And then from there, in terms of the styles of content, take inspiration of things that worked for other people before, and then just start testing it out. Like test one style out for like a week after test out another style, week after test out another style. And if you get like 2 viral videos, you know that that style works. Double down on that, have like sub styles of that one style that works, like a little change in it. And that's what Alex Mosi does too, right?
Hmm.
Like if you just look at his page too.
What's
there's a lot
what's
of-
the overall what's the overall direction and idea behind your page, Sylvester? Or did we already cover this?
One sec, Ollie. So basically with Alex Mosi, the type of content that he posts is also very diverse, right? So he has certain content styles that really work for him and some that really don't. For example, this quote type of content style, that's one style. Second one is this red type of subtitle. Then he has the yellow. Then he has another yellow. Then he has white. You know, like he shifts between them a lot, right? Reason being is because he tests out what works for me better. And then based on those numbers, he just doubles down more on that. And he makes like a little change in what he's already doing. Not a major change, because you know if you change too much, then it will divert completely from the people who already follow you and know what you do. So he just sticks to what he's doing and then just makes like a little sub style of the style, and that's it, right? And obviously something you can also really like look into is the thumbnails, right? So for example, to your kids, ourselves, champions, take some time, you know, who cares? Sad, question mark. Like these are all obviously intentionally placed like this, where people go to them on the explore page and then see them. That's also a big thing to kind of keep in mind. So yeah, man, a lot of key takeaways for you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no worries, man. And you can also like combine it with a few pictures like these, you know, like this, lessons you learn, stuff like this. Because this is what makes Alex Ramosi valuable. All of his lessons, who he is, but also like how direct and transparent and real he is in what he does and how he communicates. Because that's who he is. But he only figured out who he was, but just looking inside, like just showing who the fuck he is. Like it's not complicated at all. It really isn't. Because if you share who you are, if you can do something of value, if you can actually provide it and help other people with it, it's a matter of just knowing how to sell. And then you just sell it. And maybe it will even sell itself. But if you don't know what the fuck you do, if you don't know if you can provide a lot of value, if you can't really provide a lot of value, don't try to create value that's out of thin air. Start double down on one skill, double down on it, learn it, master it. The only way to choose that route is by looking inwards. Who do you want to become? What do you want to be remembered by? And taking time, you know, don't have that answer in an hour. Don't have that answer in a day, not a week, maybe a month, maybe a year, right? And the fun thing is that answer will change in its course as you go as well. It's not a definite answer. It's just at that current moment, that's who you would want to become. Like I didn't know who I was 5 years ago, and I never could know what person I was at this moment, because you can't predict what's going to happen in the future. But what you can do is predict what you're going to do right now, because it's just action that you want to do right now, and you do it, and then it creates a certain future. So bringing that back, looking in the future, bringing it back to the now, is going to be very key for your journey. And be transparent with yourself. You know, that's why I think your content doesn't really work right now, You know, the styles and everything's perfect. You can grab the most viral content from competitors and et cetera, et cetera. You can grow, but it's all bullshit because there's no brand equity. People don't follow you because of you, and that's a personal brand. If you can't express yourself and if you don't express yourself in your personal brand, there's no personal brand. It's just a page with your face that's trying to mimic viral content to go viral and to make money. And that's weak. So be honest with yourself, communicate that honesty, share that honesty, rob that honesty. Especially like how do I explain this? The way you do your content, just share that fucking honesty, you know, share who you are. But just boom, you know, Sylvester, boom. And again, like if you don't have a specific skill that you can help or teach people with or leverage to make money online, then fucking double down. Spend all your hours in studying, you know? I have access to a shit ton of things that you can learn and grow from. The whole course, watch that like 10 times and implement all the lessons I teach there. Then ask me what course I want to create, you want me to create again. I'll create it, I'll share it, you learn. Watch YouTube videos that are educational all day fucking long and just grow through them and just go, 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 go. Because the only way that you're gonna last is by sharing and expressing who you are through your personal brand, people actually wanting to follow you for who you are, and then wanting to stick with your journey throughout the whole fucking length and the whole way. Right? That's where the key lies in brand equity and brand value. And that's why personal brands are so key. Gary Vee's brand is structured around him, is structured around who he is, energetic, right? Because people don't follow Gary Vee with just some random ass content that he thinks is going to go viral. No, people follow him because of him. People watch his content because of him. Why do you guys watch KSI? Well, because he has a funny ass fucking laugh, you know, right? Like that's funny. You know, I find it funny too, but that's who he is. I mean, look at the old KSI videos. That's why he blew up. He didn't start the way he is right now, but he integrated it slowly a little bit out, right? That's also strategy. So, yeah, there's a lot that's gonna happen for you, Sylvester. But again, like it comes down to the same thing. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, and be honest with yourself. And translate that through your content and share the journey with people.
Thanks so much. I've got a lot to work on.
Let's go, man. Let's
So,
go. Yeah. What I do tend to do, which I will definitely feel like in the future, is I just drop like a essay in like 15 minutes or less in terms of advice. So I would recommend you to just re-listen to this a couple of times because there's a lot that was said in a short amount of time.
all right.
But yeah, man, solid advice.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, of course, man. If you want us to discuss any more things, then let me know. I saw that Tamer and Jerry also joined in. If you guys want your page analyzed or any tips or any tricks or whatever, then let me know. Then we can go over that in today's call. I don't mind, you know, extending the call a little bit in terms of time. No, I don't mind. We typically did that before too. But for you two that aren't new as well, this call is completely free, right? It's every single week. We did this for like 12 weeks long, and the whole goal is for us to change the education system eventually and educate and build a fucking big ass unit of a community. We only have 50 people right now. We're growing every day, so that's great. But we can only do it by having people like you attend these fucking calls and requesting and communicating, right? That's how our community can thrive and can conquer, right? So the whole point, the only thing that I'm really asking from all of you guys, same thing for you, Sylvester, is just communicate. Just be active. Just share your wins, share your routines, share whatever. Like, as I said before, me, Akil, and Ollie, we have a shit ton of value, as well as Armin, as well as other people that we know have a shit ton of value that we can provide to you. We can arrange really big guest speaking people as well. You know, there's just a lot that we can provide. But the only thing which I really just ask back is be active. Be active, join the calls, refer friends to the community. That's how we grow as well, you know? So the whole goal of the community is 0. No charge, fucking insane amount of value that you can actually learn and grow from in a very honest way as well. Because me, Akil, and Ollie were thinking and also talking like, okay, how can we actually like really make an impact? And it's also by not gatekeeping a ton of value. And we were like, okay, where's the most value provided? Well, it's in calls like these, because that's where I am the most valuable, right? Through my communication, advice, tips, creativity, etc. So that's why we're doing these as well again, but then also with creation of new courses, creation of new documents, things that you can use. I mean, I quickly gave a glimpse of it as well in today's call. I'll just share again as well. Into this Miro board, created this in like a few days, but it's kind of like a whole overview of your kind of life. And it's something that you can optimize for yourself, right? So for example, this is your calendar day to day. Then on the right, you can have like specific labels of colors that you can give. For example, sales activities, driving lessons, quitting my job, right? And then you can give that a certain color. You can copy paste it, have different lines under each other. It's really, really cool. You can have certain events that you put in there. And the nice thing is you just have everything in one particular place. This as well with like objective KPIs, targets, projects. Then you break that down in month-to-month activities. What are you going to be doing month to month to build and grow your business and life? Then in quarters, and then your kind of like yearly objectives for the year. This is still something I'm kind of filling in for myself. This is a current routine I'm following myself. And yeah, I can make different routines. For example, pump routine, right? Where I drink a shit ton of coffee and just start pumping calls. I can have some personal rules, right? A list of rules that you can follow for each and every area of your life. Vision, mission, and goals, right? What are your vision, mission, and goals? Learning goals too, right? Let's say you want to learn sales, then make a list of people that you actually learn from. Make a list of books that you're going to be reading, then just fucking check it off. Like, this is what I had a call about with all of our clients. Business and life is far more simpler than you think it is, but we seem to overcomplicate it because we're insecure about the actual thing we're doing because we never know the exact result we're going to get with that particular thing. So basically what it says is we're insecure about what we're doing and we're looking for something and seeking something that will solve that insecurity and fill that gap. Instead of falling in love with the boring work, like Alex Emoji says as well, and just doing that, like learning a sales skill is not hard. It's literally by putting in the reps. It's by understanding what you want to read, understanding where you want to go, and how you supposedly think you're going to be getting there, right? Probably you need to learn from someone, right? But you also can learn by yourself and using that as combination, right? So you can have like a text message and sort of outreach that you do to other people every single day through your personal brand, where you express yourself and show yourself in a couple of posts like we did with Benjamin, and then just record a video of yourself and shoot that to 100 people. I can guarantee you that a business owner will hire you for absolutely zero, right? And train you up. If they see that you're hungry, if they see that your communication as well, if they see that you're learning and growing every single day consistently on your personal brand by posting a story every day, day 1 of reading this, day 2 of reading this, day 4 of reading this, because that's what happens in fucking highlights on your profile. If I go to a certain profile and click on highlights, I can check the dates. I can see day 1, this, day 2, this, day 3, this. That just screams to me, Sylvester is consistent. Because everyone can tell, but some can only show. Just think about that lesson. Everyone can tell that they're reading a fucking book every single day, but only if you can show. So how do you show? By documenting every day, by sharing a story every day that you're actually doing it. I mean, just take a look at, if we just zoom out on this board. Oh yeah, also a little bit of, as I mentioned before, like old self and new self, right? You can kind of map out like some pictures of who you want to become. Goals, this is momentum mori, so each and every one of these squares is like a week of your life. It's pretty cool. But if you, for example, take a look at Billionaire Director, right? One of my pages. If we take a look at the highlights, then you can actually see my journey live there, right? That's why I haven't taken it down yet. Just take a look at these highlights. It just shows my whole fucking journey on this page. Working on some posts in Canva, a little home workout, right? So if I, for example, tell you guys, hey, I've been doing home workouts since 4 years ago, then you're like, oh, cool, man, that's so cool. But then now if I just say, look, I've been doing home workouts since 4 years ago, and you're like, oh, shit, cool, man. Yeah, I actually see, 159 weeks ago. Sick. So this is the whole point. You just share your journey. If I say I worked 9 to 5, I drank a ton of shakes and coffee and spent time with family, built a business, this is my journey. This is something I can refer back to in the future. Who are you? These stories are shit if I look back at them, but this was needed for me to grow to this journey. And the longer you extend that delay of just facing your insecurities and just fucking doing it, the less progress you will make. Because you can't think your way to your goal. Like, that's idiotic and stupid. You can't think your way to your goal. You do your way to your goal, and you think of how you're going to do it. And then you do it, right? So this is my whole point for this call. It's, I guess, more about like personal brand and structure of it, but it's also a lot about like sharing your journey, sharing who you are, sharing what you do, and just fucking being you, like this shit as well. My coworkers did this. It was all fun and games, but they left. I had to walk home. you know, for example, this time blocking, right? This sheet of like 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Did this for like a few weeks. I knew exactly where my time was going because I felt like I didn't have a lot of time. And the moment when you feel you don't have a lot of time, you're basically prioritizing the wrong things. Because we all have a shit ton of time in a day, but we just prioritize different things over different things. And then time mapping just allows you to really understand every single 30-minute increment of where your time is going. So yeah, it's pretty sick, but yeah, it's just documenting your journey like this in your highlights, right? Just falling in love with just documenting and sharing it. And I did it more so for myself than for other people, that I could just look back at this and be like, cool. Because this call with Create Improvements, he's a friend of mine, Aaron. Maybe he's listening to this as well. But he's a friend of mine and he's also Dutch. He's in Bali right now. He invited me to it actually as well, but he started his page similar time as me, right, on Instagram. So we came in contact through him checking out my highlights, checking out my page and seeing, oh, cool, he's from Holland and he's a cool guy. But if I never posted that shit, he would have never reached out to me. And he had more followers than I did at that time. He had like 2K, or sorry, he had like 9K, I had like 2K. So 9K for me was like, holy shit, that's something I can't get to in a year, right? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, now he's at 300K and he has more followers than me on that particular story, or sorry, on that particular page, right? If you compare it with, for example, Billionaire Director. But yeah, there's more instances like this where you connect with people that you never imagined you could connect with, right? Even with this, I posted trading shit like this on my story, and then I connected with people that were actually following me for content, but they reached out like, hey, I saw you do trading, want to connect sometime? And these were like guys that were really big in what they did. So yeah, it's sick, man. It's just sick. It's really, really cool to look back at the journey, and that's kind of like my point for this call. So yeah, Tam or Jerry, you didn't talk in the call. So if you want to introduce yourself or ask for any particular topics that you want to see in the future of the community, any courses that you want to see created, resources, whatever, shoot, and we'll send it over. And obviously, thank you for joining. No topics? Nothing. You don't want to see anything in the community, Jerry. Why are you here then, man? Get out. To learn. Yeah, what the fuck do you want to learn, man? So yeah, just drop it in the school community, okay, scaling up. Okay, then share where you're at right now in revenue. Share all your numbers. Share what you're doing. Share who you are. Share your product. Share where you want to go. Share the person you want to become. Share the business you want to become. Share your big ass fucking audacious goal that you can't even imagine hitting right now. For example, for me, change the education system. I've no fucking clue. I'm gonna do that, but I am gonna do it some way. Okay, cool. Let's just analyze your page. Tamer, no topics yet, but I'm writing on some notes and we'll have some for the next call for sure. I'm a little confused regarding on how to go by the page in terms of how to get posts and post viral videos. Good question. Question back at you. Have you gone through the course already? If the answer is no, I'd highly recommend you to go through that. Plus, if anything's unclear there, just ask it, drop it in the community. Hey, Alex, this is pretty unclear in the course, and I'll make a new one. So let's take a look at your page, Mr. Jerry. Okay, 34K, world #1 for wealthy Wi-Fi alphas. Wow, what a fucking line. I nearly had a boner. Become the best version of yourself. Grow with inspiration. Yeah, looks good, looks good. Personal growth, goals, 90% off. I guess you're selling like a low ticket thing. I see you're affiliating for my mate Luke. Cool. How much do you make a month, Jerry? And who do you want to eventually become? Like long term? Bad views. I'm not confident right now. What do you mean with confidence? Also, how many sales that you make with this book? How many sales that you make with this? Because it's also something you just want to be super honest with about yourself. Like, these types of calls are going to be super valuable for you if you want to keep it like really real and really real for the future too. Like very non-bullshit. But it's not really for you if it's like Wi-Fi route, etc. Guys, it's just midnight. I worked all night. Yeah, and this is a video that you probably took from Intel, right? Don't scroll, Rocky. Yeah, sorry, I can give you advice on like what content works for you, but that's also the only advice I can really give you probably. A lot on business as well, but the only thing is I really try to take an approach with my clients that's really like not like this with don't scroll brokey, etc. I hate that. I really despise that just because it doesn't add value. It's very short-term mentality. Like I would really recommend you to just listen to this whole call back, Jerry, and go over the things we talked about with Sylvester too, of like who you want to become, and how you want to be known by. So what we talked about is what do you eventually want to accomplish in your life, like big long term, right? Like 30, 40, 50 years. And that's how you're going to build a really big business. Then that big audacious goal, that's something that you can bring back to the now. And then that now is basically the vehicle you choose to get to that point. So let's say your vehicle is an IG mentor, right? Let's say you want to become a billionaire. I can already guarantee that you won't become a billionaire with an IG mentor thing, right? So for me, I want to change the education system. I know that through IG theme pages and teaching that my whole life, it's not going to happen. But I do know by getting coaching clients, by getting them instant results and focusing all my attention on clients and results, right? That's how I can learn how to educate people in the best way possible by experimenting with personality test approach. We let like all of our clients take personality tests. We make a whole strategy on how to approach these people, and then we do that. We made AI bots that summarize cross-reference personality tests and kind of spit out like the perfect version of Sylvester. How does my personality interact the best way with Sylvester's, right? We can go into that in another call in the future, but this shit is valuable, because we're all unique. Jerry, if I look at you, you're unique in your own way. Look at other people around you and really ask yourself like, hey, who is Jerry, right? That's a really big question that you can ask people around you. Because if this is Jerry, right, in your content like this, yeah, sure, man, go for it. But if it's like it really depends on your play, right? So what I mean with play is, do you want to be in this for like 10, 20, 30 years? Or do you quickly want to have like a quick cash grab for like the next 5 years, make a decent amount of money, and then start new businesses? Because if that second part is the case, just continue with what you're doing, and focus on content like this, build one community, funnel everything there, sell all your products there, share who you are. Because the thing is, why I'm saying all of this is sales is based on trust and value. And value is something that people believe they can get out of you and a transformation that you can help them make based on trust and credibility that you have. If I, for example, helped 10 people go through a whole transformation of like a fat pack to a six pack, then yeah, I'm credible. But if I'm a dick and people can't trust me because my brand is positioned in a way where it looks super scammy, that's a problem, right? So my point is, if people come to your brand, like for example, a Alex Ramosi, would he buy what you sell? Or would he go to another guy and buy what he sells? That's a really big question you should ask yourself. Like, who do you want to become? Do you really want to position yourself like this? And these are like very honest questions because I'm not sure how old you are, but I do suppose you're young. When we're all young, same with me, we try to follow people that we see as an authority, right? We buy coaching, we look at other people of our own age, and we think, holy shit, they're making 10K a month. I want that too. I want to make money too. You know, that's what we want to do. And then we try to be like those people, copy and mimic exactly what they are, but then we forget ourselves in the process. And then by getting to that initial goal, which we purchased their programs, whatever for, we're like, holy shit, I don't even want this fucking money. And then we discover ourselves. So it's kind of similar to what I went through. You know, it's all like all my advice is based on my own perception and my own story. Take it with a grain of salt, but do try to test out with things I say, right? So look at everything that I say and look at everything that Akil and Ollie says in these calls and just take out snippets of them. You know, take out valuable things for yourself that you think, cool, that's valuable too, cool, that's valuable, and start testing. So feedback for you, your profile picture is shit. Make it more about your face, like torso and up, just because you're young and you can definitely see it in your profile picture as well with your physique. I would potentially take your age out of your bio. 3-5 spots left this month. I would maybe take that out too. Show your willingness. I do like that. I would just keep in this line. I would keep in this line. And then I would keep in the first line. And maybe show a little bit more credibility of like, for example, this page, just look at all the views you got and count them all up in a calculator, right? You can also actually do this in Facebook. I generated like fucking billions of views, but calculate all of this and then just put it in your bio. Generated X, Y, and Z views on Instagram. Very easy way to become credible. But yeah, man, take on 10 clients completely for free, work your ass off, do the dirty work, do the thing that you know you should be doing, and get them a shit ton of results, and then you'll dominate, man. But if you don't believe you can get people results, then figure out how you do that. Learn that, right? Because clearly you do know how going viral works, but you know, like this I hate this content. I would puke on this. That's just my opinion, right? That's who I am. Because it's just a few racks or a few $100 or whatever, right? It's not thousands. It's not like as Akil said during the call as well, right? It's not like the you're competing with basically guys that do this for a living, but then with Lamborghinis and everything. And that's how they want to position themselves because that's the life they live. But a personal brand is so nice in terms of leverage because it expresses who you are. We went through this with Sylvester as well. Why do you think Logan Paul, KSI, Gary Vee, or Alex Hormozy dominated? Because they know exactly who they are and they translate that through their content. Look at KSI videos from the past. Ah, you know, like the fucking cringy guy who's screaming and shouting with energy. You know, that's how he became popular. He didn't start out at the point he is right now. And the same thing with people like the Lamborghini guys on Instagram. They didn't start out at that spot. And you always want to remind yourself of that because what you're trying to do is start out with your content at the spot they are at. But meanwhile, they're at level 200 and you are at level 2. Big difference. So focus on the things that have the highest leverage. That's my biggest tip. In terms of skills you can learn, in terms of things you need to do. And typically we all know what we need to do, but it's just the boring work that gets everything done. So yeah, hope that was valuable. Any other questions or things you want analyzed? We can definitely let me quickly see your page. Yeah, let me quickly analyze your page too, by the way. Okay, cool. So please take out the caption. Don't scroll brokey, like, man, I want to shoot myself in my face if I see that. Then what I would do is I would stay consistent. You posted 6 weeks ago on this page. This page is worth a decent amount. It has potential to grow to 100,000 followers easily. So, you know, you could sell a page like that for a pretty decent amount of money. Yeah. Let me see, what cars are you choosing? Yeah, so the content that I see has a lot of variation from you in the past. It's like a couple of clips combined, but it's also like different text combined, right? So it's like scroll, like, da 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 da, but it's like multiple clips combined, multiple transitions pretty quickly as well in every single video. So that's what I would stick to. Yeah, honestly, I think you know what works for your page, but just do the boring work, man. Do the boring work. Structure your whole page in a way where you make your money off of this page by selling all these digital bullshit products. And then your personal brand just focus completely into that, into who is Jerry and who does Jerry want to become. And what does the Jerry who you want to become, what does he do? And start doing that. That's how you can dominate, because then people follow you because of you. And that's the reason why they buy, you know? That's also the reason why we want to do this community, because people then realize, holy shit, this is Alex, this is AT Consulting, this is what we stand for, right? We try to help you in the most honest, direct, transparent way. That's how we communicate, you know?
And it all boils down to transparency at the end of the day. Everything you need to learn, everything you need to take away, every person you're going to be learning from all comes down to transparency. Even when you're going to people and you're saying, and you're trying to handle objections of clients or speaking to clients, trying to onboard new clients, be completely transparent. Tell them your vision, tell them your goal, tell them everything they need to know, or how you want to perceive yourself and your vision, and just work with that. Take those 10 clients, take those people that aren't, take those 10 clients that you're going to be working for free, and just ask, can I have a testimonial? Because that's going to be your biggest power when you first start.
Yeah, and it's the boring work that gets that done, you know? Because then the question isn't how do I get to 10K a month with what I do right now and what do I sell and blah blah blah. Blah. It's literally how do I get 10 qualified clients for free that are going to commit. Because the thing is, when people pay you, they still have a problem to commit. And if you can figure out a way to motivate them while they give you zero, their time, they don't even see the value in it, that's hard. That's a challenge. And that's something you should be fucking excited by, because that's entrepreneurship. If you don't have shit, you build shit, right? Like you do it for free. You build up a skill. You have a skill. You grow pages. Then see, how can I leverage the skill in different industries? Get excited about it. Don't stick to all this generic bullshit with selling an ebook and stuff like that. Yeah, 100%. You can make money from it. You can do it. But again, it's about what do you want to become and what does that person do? And then doing that right now. And as Ollie said, honesty. Honesty is the biggest policy, but also about yourself, right? That's the biggest thing. This is a challenge that I would recommend everyone do. Perceive. Sit in the observer mode for a week, for example. Look at people around you. Say less than you speak. Sorry, listen more than you speak, right? So just sit back, and only when you're asked a question, that's when you can actually talk, right? Only if you choose to do that and to want that, right? But otherwise, just sit back and just observe, because there's so much bullshit and so much people trying to prove themselves to other people, because everything is based off of your own perception. I can never understand how Ollie feels. I can never understand what Ollie thinks. I can never understand the way Ollie looks at the world. I can try to get a glimpse of how he looks at it by trying to understand him, but I can never understand him fully. Never. Not possible. Because we all look at the only things around us in the way we do, right? And that's called perception. That's called limiting beliefs. That's called your subconscious, your conscious, right? What you fucking read in the self-motivational books that you probably read a million times but never understood the concept. And that's exactly what it's about, right? Understanding that, but then also understanding that based on those perceptions, people want to be proven. You know, they want to prove themselves to you. They want to, they say things in the way where they prove themselves to you. So look at how people say things and be brutally honest about yourself. If you don't know something, say you don't know something. If you don't like something, say you don't like something. It's that fucking simple. It can change your life completely. So, yeah, that's it. And then life becomes easy, man. Because the only reason why you don't do that is because you're scared. For example, me, right? I was scared that I was going to push my family away by just being honest. Because I was like, I don't care about what you talk about. I don't care about the dinners where we discuss these school bullshit subjects. I don't learn from them. I don't grow from them. So why would I care to listen to them? I don't get energy from them. It's, I get frustrated by them. So why would I be in that situation? Then I was scared to share that because it could potentially push my family away. It could cause the opposite of harmony, chaos, right? So I was holding on to something that didn't work for me anymore. And then by delaying the truth, it only gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And that's when the real problem starts. When I build up this frustration, well, I've never communicated this honestly and transparently, and then blow up. And then it all goes to shit. So a lot of good lessons. Honesty is the biggest policy. I'm tired and I'm gonna go to bed. So I appreciate all of you guys' time, and I found this a really good call for the first one. I thought that the first call show up rate was definitely going to be yeah, a lot lower than expected in terms of the show up rate, but glad to have you all here. And honesty is the biggest policy. A lot of really good lessons here. And man, fuck your insecurities. Fuck what you think. Fuck what you supposedly think that's going to happen. Like, quit talking, quit thinking, start doing, and just it's simple. Apply the KISS method. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's literally the number one business lesson that people in corporate businesses get literally taught by other business coaches. KISS method. Search it up on the internet.
Huge takeaway from this as well is that I think what Alex was talking about with his family and all the issues is that the biggest thing to be completely transparent with yourself. And when someone asks you a question, don't make excuses. Sit there, ponder for a second, and think: is this real? Am I being real myself? Am I making excuses for myself? Am I just handling objections because I don't like them? But in hindsight, just be honest with yourself and be okay with being in the wrong. The minute you accept that, you will be so much better. And then your objection handling when it comes to family, when it comes to things you don't disagree with, you'll have that objection. You'll be like, no, I disagree.
Yeah, but even like,
Immediately.
for example, people that you supposedly think that are an authority figure in your life, or for example, in general, let's say Iman Gatsi joins this call right now. I'll be honest with him. If I don't like his attitude, I'll say I don't like his attitude. That's who I am. Why would you divert from something supposedly because a guy is a millionaire based on money that humans printed and we added value to ourselves because we can buy things with money because we created it that way? So basically what we're saying is that Iman is valuable because of money, status, and kind of what he did. I can guarantee that 99% of his audience doesn't understand what he did, doesn't understand his whole journey in depth, not just his overall journey.
It's so true.
But also with like the person, that's what I'm going to be trying to express more is who I am. All the stories that I have. I mean, I have millions. Going to Bangkok, probably going to be there for 6 months. I signed a lease for 6 months for an apartment, couple of thousand a month, pretty expensive. Then after a month or so, I was like, don't really want to be here. Talked with Ollie. Ollie said, want to come to Switzerland? I said, fuck yeah, let's do it. Then at 11 p.m., booked my tickets for 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, called up the realtor, said, fuck that, I'm going to go out of here and I'm going to go to Switzerland. He said, oh. He was at he was at his own wedding, right? So he was like, what the fuck? He was overwhelmed. He invited me to his wedding. The first moment I stepped into the taxi, he said, Alex, do you want to come to my wedding in Vietnam? We never met before, right? I said yes, but then I couldn't arrange a visa at time. Then I went to Switzerland. Then I came to Dubai airport to step over on a different airplane for Switzerland. Then I supposedly went through a different gate that was completely different on the Dubai airport. I literally walked into the room and there were like a whole bunch of people sitting there, like a lot of Indian guys and people from Indonesia. I was like, what the fuck? They're not going to Zurich. You know, that's impossible because it's only rich people and white folks and everything like that. So I was like, this doesn't seem right. I panicked. I realized I was at a completely different gate. My flight was leaving in 45 minutes. I'd had to wait a day or two to get my next flight. Didn't have any place to stay in Dubai. Had my suitcase. Shit. My suitcase was actually going to be boarding onto the Zurich plane, right? It was already on the Zurich plane. So if I wouldn't have catched that, my suitcase would have flown off to Zurich. I would have been stuck in Dubai for 2 days. I had 45 minutes to catch my plane. The bus ride was 30 minutes back to the airport, the main category. I got there, sprinted in the door. I jumped in front of the bus before it left as well. I was like, just stop. I need to go there. I need to get in. Knocked on the door, let them in. People were staring at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But I was dead serious. I'm not going to miss my flight. I felt the exact same in those movies, you know, like the family's running and everything, like, oh, I'm not going to miss my flight. And I felt the exact same. Then I came to the Dubai airport. It's fucking big. This is the first area of this is like the left of the Dubai airport, and you have all the way at the end. That's where my gate was. This is where I arrived. Then I had to sprint for 15 minutes across the whole fucking airport to get to my gate. And then during the sprinting, I was like 10 minutes in, I was like sweating like crazy because it's fucking hot there. Then I heard like in the intercom, plane Zurich leaving in 5 minutes. I was like, fuck, man. Seriously. Sprinted more and more and more. Got a little motivational boost from that speaker. Got to the gate. Gave my ticket. 2 minutes left. Sat there, sweating as fuck. Everyone was in the airplane already. Went in the airplane. Sat beside the lady. That was all rich and fancy and gold and bracelets and whatever. I just was sitting there, my tracksuit bottom all sweaty. And she literally did this. You know, she kind of shoved over because I was sweating. I would laugh my ass off. I was calling with Ollie. I was like, ah, this guy, or sorry, this woman beside me, and she stared at me. I stared back. You know, we had a fun time. I talked with her and everything, but it was really, really funny. I came to Switzerland, met Ollie for the first time, worked together, stayed there for a week. We went back home in a very interesting circumstance. Then we went to the train. We missed our train back to the Netherlands. We grabbed a random train in Germany that was going up somewhere. We dropped our suitcases in there. We supposedly were sitting in first class. Like Ollie told me, Alex, we're sitting in first class. I'm like, fuck that. We're just gonna stay here. So we didn't have the right tickets for that train. Our tickets were completely different. Our train already left, and we were sitting illegally in first class. You know, we were travelers. Then
And
and
for
then
anyone
no,
who
no, no,
doesn't
no, no,
know,
wait. Then we had our lunchbox with chicken and pasta that we made at the Airbnb in Switzerland, and we were sitting there in first class in our tracksuit bottom, eating pasta and chicken. All these guys around us typing on their laptops, you know, in suits and everything. We were just sitting there like, fuck that. And then I told Ollie, he was completely stressing out. I was like, okay, if the person who checks our tickets comes through the door in front of us, we were like sitting there, I'll say yes, right? Because I can see the person. And I actually stole the forks of the Airbnb to eat our food. Then we also stole a shit ton of cookies that were in like a secret storage in the Airbnb. We threw a whole bag full with it. We were eating like 40 cookies. Oh man, it was so funny. And then the person came in. I said yes to Ollie. He quickly grabbed our things, put it in the bag. Then the person came in. I told Ollie, if they do come in, I'm gonna grab the ticket. You're gonna sit, you know, quiet there, and then you're gonna put your headphones on, and then I'm gonna, you know, do the tickets. So he was doing it, sitting there like this, you know, sitting there with music. I did the same thing, acting as if we were just supposed to be there, very chill, you know. I had my watch on, so I did this, you know, like a pretty expensive watch. Sat there like this, you know, first class. And then I was looking at my phone, headphones on, you know, also the AirPod headphones, so they're pretty expensive too, right? So I was like, and then she came, I was like, oh yeah, here you go. She was like, beep, danke. So she just said, thank you, walked on. I was literally staring at Ollie, like in fucking laughing like this. I was nearly laughing my ass off, like fucking loud. And I took a picture of her, like just like left behind me because I was like, fuck. So yeah, it was really, really funny. I'll quickly try to pull up a few pictures, but
For
oh
anyone
man.
who doesn't know as well, is that if you are caught on a train in Germany with no ticket, the police will literally be waiting for you at the station.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Here, this is my personal page. And you guys can follow it if you want to. It's here, these are the realtors. These are two guys I met at the Airbnb. I actually texted them through the Airbnb app, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm a guy on Instagram who has a ton of followers. You guys want to meet up? I want to learn more about your business model and how you make your money." They said, "Yeah, for sure, man." They came to my apartment with the chocolate. We met up. We checked out all the apartments around my Airbnb as well. We just walked in there, and I was just their guy, that was coming along with them. They were like, I was like helping them with like creatively looking at things. They were like, yeah, we're probably renovating into this and this and this way. I said, no, 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 don't do that. Try this and this. They were like, oh yeah, that's really good. They're like, as if I was just a part of their fucking gang. So then eventually they saw the book of Alex Hormozy. So this one. Wait 1 sec. They saw this one, $100 million leads, right? Sitting there on the thingy, on like a shelf in the apartment, and they were like, "Holy shit, do you watch Alex Hormozy?" I said, "Yeah, you watched Alex Hormozy too." I saw the cap and everything, and they were like, "Yeah," and we were like, "Oh." So then I told them like, "Yeah, man, you can just have the book, keep it, and take it home." And then we just took a picture, but it was very, very funny. There was always me cooking with Ollie. That was Ollie. This is Joshua on the left. He's our most successful client. He makes $1 million a year with all of this. He does like gold investing. He's building up a team of like 40 people right now, like team in a company. Really sick. This is a random Australian dude we met in the bus. I was walking down the aisle with my suitcase, like dragging it on, because I thought the bus was actually going to be skipping us, and I was like this, like, you know, uh, at that point, like, "Hey, stop, man, we're here." And he literally like drove by and then turned around and came back. So this guy, I was walking down the aisle on the bus with my suitcase. This guy was like speaking to me in German, like saying something like, "You don't have to wave your hands." I was like, "English, man, sorry, foreigner here, but I can understand a little German." Then he said like, "Yeah, you don't have to wait for the bus." I was like, "Fuck that, man. Like, I don't want the bus to just skip us." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Ha ha ha." Then we just got talking. Me and Ollie in the train, some random bird. Yeah, these were all the cookies. And this was the first class as well. And this was me with a random bird. Because I was just eating all the carrots. We bought like a whole sack of carrots and I was just eating all of them. Yeah, it was really, really funny. This was Bangkok. Here, this was me. Just made the Zurich plane. Just fucking sweating my balls off. This was only the first day he came there. Just completely wet. This was our setup. Yeah, Switzerland was great. Weekly call with clients, food. My dad and my brother. Food, place. And why I really hated this, because this was my dream, right? My dream was to stay at a place like this, be there, etc. But then when I was there, I really hated it because it's so created, it's so fake, it's so, you know, it's so BS. It's so BS, man. Like I really didn't like it. So then I went to Switzerland with Ollie. I loved it because it's so more homey. This was the guy who invited me to his wedding, right? Like he was a realtor. And reroute, if you're watching this, contact me, man. We haven't spoken in a while. This was me on like a random scooter in like 3 a.m. Riding through Bangkok. Yeah, exactly. This this was actually the best experience of the whole trip. Just riding fucking 100 kilometers down here, just seeing the whole city lights and everything around you. That was really amazing. So next time, I wouldn't say Bangkok is bad or trips like that are bad, but it's more like how you structure them, which is really key of what I learned. Um, that's been like my key takeaway of like all the trips. Really understanding like how do you structure these trips and how do you really like do that basically. So how do you structure it correctly where the city also aligns with how you structure the trip. And yeah, that feedback really helped me. So yeah, it was a fucking sick year, but lots more to come. So yeah, guys, appreciate you guys hopping on this call. Hope you got some value of it. Hope we connected as well. Like, that's my main important thing. I don't really care if, you know, you walk away with the best next sales strategy from this call. It's more about the connection and the relation. And you know, that you actually enjoy these calls where you're like looking forward to them every week. That's what I would want to have. If you guys like travel and photography, you can look at my page. Yeah, man. This nomad is solo. I love that. Let's look at the page. If you want a little analysis on it, I'll try to not be too direct. You can definitely change the username if you want to. Or it's something to do with your real name. Turn it into like a personal brand if you want to. But the content looks great, man. Jeez. Do you make all of this yourself, Tamer? Yes, sir. Love it, man. Looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like share more of this, man. Share more pictures of yourself. But also, like, this is a key tip I would use. Share the most quality pictures of yourself and share the lessons of that trip summarized in that caption of that post. That's how you can really like combine value plus personal with people you'll also who follow you. And that's how you can build up like a very solid personal brand too. Same thing for Jerry, same thing for Armin, same thing for everyone. Like, go into your notes on your phone, start typing a super valuable caption, readjust that and make that shorter, right? You can just brain dump everything in there in ideas and categorize and be creative. Then extract it, make it smaller, summarize it, that it's actually digestible, and then learn about copywriting, right? It's a very interesting skill. Would highly recommend. So yeah, looks sick, man. Looks really good. But incorporating a bit more of you, that's how you can make this page like very good. And also, if you want to, with your profile picture, make sure it's a little bit more aligned in the middle. So have your face like here. And then maybe your shoulder like here. Somewhere around that area. Hey, thanks for the call. Really appreciate your time. You opened my eyes and I have a lot to work on. Urgently have to leave the call. See you next one. Yeah, totally, Sylvester. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please just be active in the community and we'll speak soon. Have a good one, man. Bye.
Tamir,
See you soon, brother.
with your image, the reason why you'd want to have yourself center frame as well is to make yourself more recognizable so that people can actually get a glimpse of you, because it is your brand. So having a shot where your face is like so small in your profile image is going to make you less recognizable, and you're really trying to sell you as well with this. So having yourself more apparent on that photo would really help.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, guys. We're gonna wrap it up. My brain is fried, and gonna work on that great call and awesome value as always. Yeah, I appreciate it, Armin. Appreciate it, Tamer. Drop some key takeaways that you learned from this call in the community. That would really help and encourage like other people to be here too, because we know the impact we can have. Again, right? So I'd rather show that and not tell it, but that's how you guys can really just help me. So yeah, appreciate it. Share your key takeaways in the community, and hope to see you guys in next week's recording. I'll upload this on YouTube, then put it back into the program. So yeah, have a good one, guys. Speak soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you soon.